Welcome to our channel. Today, we're delving into a critical and sensitive topic: racial discrimination in American cities. We'll be examining the top 10 cities in the United States where racial tensions and disparities are most pronounced as of 2024. This exploration aims to shed light on the challenges faced by communities of color, the systemic factors contributing to racial divisions, and the ongoing efforts toward equity and justice in these urban areas. Number 10, Charleston, South Carolina. Starting our countdown at number 10 is Charleston, South Carolina. Known for its historic charm, Charleston grapples with significant racial disparities, particularly in housing and education. Despite efforts to integrate, racial segregation patterns persist, limiting opportunities for African American residents in areas crucial for socioeconomic mobility. Historical legacies, such as the effects of slavery and Jim Crow laws, continue to shape the city's social fabric, contributing to disparities in wealth, education, and healthcare. Number 9, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Moving to number 9, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, faces entrenched racial segregation that profoundly impacts its communities. The city's African American population experiences disproportionately high levels of poverty and unemployment, exacerbated by limited access to quality education and healthcare. Persistent racial tensions underscore the urgent need for comprehensive policies addressing systemic inequalities. Recent studies highlight disparities in homeownership rates and mortgage lending practices, reflecting broader challenges in achieving economic equity for communities of color. Number 8, Baltimore, Maryland. At number 8, Baltimore, Maryland, continues to struggle with deep-rooted racial divisions despite ongoing social and economic reforms. Issues such as police-community relations and disparities in economic opportunities persist, reflecting broader systemic challenges that affect communities of color disproportionately. Efforts to bridge these divides remain a critical priority for the city's future progress. Initiatives aimed at improving police accountability and fostering community trust have shown mixed results, highlighting the complex nature of addressing racial discrimination in law enforcement and civic engagement. Number 7, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri, occupies the 7th spot on our list, shaped by historical legacies of segregation and urban development policies that perpetuate racial inequalities. The city's African American population faces barriers to economic advancement, evidenced by disparities in employment rates and access to affordable housing. Addressing these issues requires targeted initiatives aimed at dismantling structural barriers and promoting inclusive growth. Efforts to revitalize historically marginalized neighborhoods have met with varying degrees of success, underscoring the need for comprehensive strategies that address the root causes of racial disparities. Number 6, Chicago, Illinois. Coming in at number 6 is Chicago, Illinois, a city renowned for its cultural diversity but plagued by persistent racial disparities. Stark divisions between the South Side and the North Side highlight ongoing challenges in housing, education, and economic opportunities for African American residents. Efforts to promote equitable development and foster community cohesion are essential to addressing these entrenched disparities. Recent initiatives aimed at reducing violent crime and improving neighborhood safety have sparked debates about their impact on communities of color, raising questions about the intersection of public safety and racial justice in urban America. Before we proceed with the remaining 5 cities, kindly subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. We guarantee you do not want to miss any updates from us. Your subscription keeps us motivated to continue providing valuable content. Let's get back to our list. Number 5, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan, ranks 5th on our list, grappling with the enduring effects of economic decline and racial segregation. Decades of disinvestment and discriminatory practices have contributed to stark disparities in employment, education, and healthcare outcomes for its African American population. Initiatives focused on revitalizing neighborhoods and promoting inclusive economic growth are critical to advancing racial equity in the city. Recent efforts to attract investment and create jobs have yielded mixed results, highlighting the complex challenges facing Detroit's diverse communities as they strive for economic prosperity and social justice. Number 4, Memphis, Tennessee. At number 4, Memphis, Tennessee, confronts significant challenges related to racial inequality, particularly in education and economic development. Persistent disparities in school funding and employment opportunities underscore the systemic barriers facing African American communities. Addressing these disparities requires coordinated efforts to enhance educational outcomes, expand economic opportunities, and promote social cohesion across the city. Recent debates about the role of education reform and workforce development in closing racial gaps have underscored the need for comprehensive strategies that address the root causes of inequality while promoting inclusive growth for all residents. Number 3, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, holds the third spot on our list, characterized by enduring racial divisions in housing and employment. Historical factors such as redlining and urban renewal have shaped the city's segregated neighborhoods and limited access to resources for African American residents. Addressing these disparities necessitates comprehensive strategies that promote inclusive development and equitable access to opportunities for all residents. Efforts to attract investment and create jobs in underserved neighborhoods have shown promise, but persistent challenges remain in achieving equitable economic growth and social mobility for communities of color. Number 2, Newark, New Jersey. Number 2 on our list is Newark, New Jersey, a city marked by its diverse population and persistent challenges related to racial inequality. Issues such as disparities in policing practices and educational outcomes underscore the systemic barriers facing communities of color. Efforts to promote police reform, expand educational opportunities, and enhance economic mobility are essential to fostering a more just and inclusive society in Newark. Recent initiatives aimed at improving community-police relations and reducing crime have highlighted the importance of addressing racial disparities in law enforcement and promoting trust and transparency in public safety efforts. Number 1, Ferguson, Missouri. Topping our list at number 1 is Ferguson, Missouri, a city thrust into the national spotlight following the tragic death of Michael Brown and subsequent protests in 2014. The events in Ferguson exposed deep-seated racial tensions and systemic inequalities in policing and community relations that continue to shape the city's social landscape. Efforts to address police accountability, promote community engagement, and advance racial justice remain central to Ferguson's ongoing journey toward healing and reconciliation. Recent reforms in policing and efforts to promote civic engagement have sparked debates about the effectiveness of these initiatives in addressing racial disparities and building trust between law enforcement and communities of color. In conclusion, the rankings of these cities highlight the complex and pervasive nature of racial discrimination in America today. From entrenched segregation patterns to disparities in education, employment, and healthcare, communities of color across these cities face systemic barriers that hinder their full participation in civic and economic life. Addressing these challenges requires sustained commitment to dismantling structural inequalities, promoting inclusive policies, and fostering dialogue and understanding among diverse communities. Thank you for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable insights into the issues of racial discrimination in American cities. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to continue the conversation and support efforts toward creating a more just and equitable society for all. Together, we can work towards building communities where every individual is treated with dignity and respect, regardless of race or background.